as an assistant professor at Engineering College since 2006. I have more than 19 years of experience in various fields. Like previously, I was working with Electrical Research and Development Association in Short Circuit Testing Department. Before that, I was working with ABB R&D Training Center Department, and before that, I was worked with Motors and Control Private Limited as a senior design engineer. And apart from that, I have also worked with the CNC Metals Corporation, Canada, and many US company on consultancy basis. So today we are going to discuss about programmable logic controllers, PLC for industrial automation. Okay. So why this is important? Because in USA, this area is known as a technology city of South. In this area, there are more than 900 technical firms, several Fortune 500 companies. There are various ecosystems totally based on automation and logistic firms. So, as a student, you can strong PLC skill and that can tap into rich job market with strong pay stability, growth, and potential. What are the advantages of learning PLC as a student? That you have to cover. That is highly employable skills with excellent salary prospects, versatile across industry, manufacturing, logistic facilities, and it is a gateway to advanced automation, that is SCADA, IoT, Industry 4.0. There are the future prospectors. So, goal of this session is ultimately any student or human is decide how to earn smart money, and this topic you can convert into your earning potential. So how you can convert this topic of basics of PLC programming into real career opportunity in and around this area. So as a career, you can choose your career as a PLC technician, programmer, automation, manufacturing, logistics, facility controls. The average salary of PLC programmer in Alpha is around $81,000 per year, mentioned by Indeed. As a PLC technician in Atlanta area is 1 lakh per year. So you see that is a more important of technician rather than programmer. Programmer is also no doubt it's a highly skilled programmer, but maintenance and technician level is more preferable. Also, you can work as a PLC programmer, broader estimate, and around the salary is $90,000 per year. Entry level start from $60,000. Your role is as a control engineer, PLC programmer. You can earn between 1 lakh to $140,000 per year. So these are the data collected from various job sites. In this area nearby, the famous leader are Siemens, Allen Bradley, Mitsubishi PLC, which are highly demanded industry-ready training engineers will align with this local job requirement. And they also prefer Siemens Step 7 certificate, Rockwell Boost availability, and others. So, with this, we can start what is PLC and basic requirement of PLC. So, in this, we try to cover introduction of PLC, its family and application. Second, architecture of the PLC, role of PLC in industry. Third is fundamentals and components which are used for automation. Standard procedure for writing, data diagram, and activity program. What is sync, source, and types of input outputs. Then we also try to cover basic programming instruction, how to upload and download and monitoring of programs. We will give you demonstration later on. Then example related to basic instruction and the normal troubleshooting and fault diagnosis in industries. So these are the various PLC based company In this, they use various PLC at different level. So what is PLC? The basic definition of PLC is it's a type of computer commonly used in commercial and industrial application, but it is different than computer. Computer perform only routine tasks, but this will refer as a hardware software based on program. So we have to enter various programming in CPU or PLC, and accordingly our system will work. The process is what the following steps involves in PLC. First is input processing, and second one is programming processing, and third one is output processing. Here we show simplified block diagram. First, input module, input image memory in CPU, then logic processing according to our input, output image memory in CPU, and finally we give output. Various widely used input in washing machine, elevators, traffic signals and controls we see in routine and day-to-day life. Second application in aerospace for water tank quenching system. This is for hardening of aerospace material. Third application is reducing the human control allocation of the human sequence given with the technical equipment, and that is called automation. So how we can convert our system into automation? And in batch process of chemical, cement, food and paper industries are sequentially nature requiring time of event based on decision. The other applications are in automation industry, steel industry, glass industry, paper industry, textile industry, cement industry, chemical industry, food processing system, oil and gas power plant, wind turbine system, robotic automation and system, underground coal mines and many more industries. So in the above automation industry, you can see PLC is everywhere. So you have to try to master as a technician or as a programmer in PLC. That will open your career in automation field. These are the various PLC family and top manufacturer in the world. First one is Allen Bradley, second Siemens, Schneider Electric, Mitsubishi, ABB, Amron, Hitachi, Beko and QG Electrics. So role of PLC in industry is to convert system into automatic. That is in PLC architecture already we discussed that there are input to hardware, CPU which will control our program, output that is output module is PLC and output power supply. In PLC architecture, if we discuss the core component, then CPU is the brain of PLC. We can perform any task with the help of programming and with CPU. Second, power supply. We require DC power supply, so we convert AC into DC with suitable conversion system. In input module normally we use various sensors and actuators like switches, push button, PLC, and read various digital and analog parameters such as output or what we have to try to obtain parameter, that is temperature, pressure, flow, speed, etc. For output module we use various device to convert signal from the CPU into digital or analog values and to control output device and achieve whatever task required for our application. Programming device in HMI, as we see different software we will discuss later on. Signal flow starts from input, then signal fetched by CPU and accordingly it will give output. PLC work? So there are four basic operational steps for every PLC. Apart from any manufacturer, these are the basic steps. One is input step that identifies the status of all input devices that are connected to PLC. Second, program step, implement the user-created program logic. Means every function and every program are created on program and it will work accordingly. So you have to manage your program accordingly. Output step, either energize or de-energize all connected output device. Means in output we want either on or off or rotation of conveyor belt or sorting of bottling plant, boxes, packing and packing, all these are comes under output. And housekeeping includes communication with the program terminal and internal diagnostic. These are the various input device in real field. Input device is the piece of computer hardware equipment used to provide data and control signal to an information processing system. That is also called IPS. Some example of input device are switches and push button. Okay, that you already covered. Second, sensing device, limit switches, proximity sensors, photoelectric sensors, condition sensors, vacuum switches, temperature switches, level switches, and pressure switches. All these are worked as an input device. Output device is any piece of hardware used to communicate the result of data processing carried out by an IPS and translate the information into understandable form. Whatever input is given, that is converted by CPU with the help of A to D or D to A converter, and accordingly give you output. As the output, we use valves, that is mechanical device, to control or flow, water starter to control speed, horns and alarm for indication purpose, stack lights, control relays, pumps, printers, fans, all these are our output device. For PLC, the main important is the ladder logic program. So, ladder logic is a graphical programming language which something related to logic, programming, and that will achieve in the help of programming language like ladder diagram and functional block diagram, that is FBD. So ladder logic of PLC normally written like this. That is round, positive rail, negative rail, and various contactor and switches, and this will indicate our output device. So, how to read this program? So, in this there are two horizontal lines called rungs. This one, okay? The vertical line is called positive rail and negative rail, and in between this we have to connect the various devices. That is push button switch 1 and 2, and with the help of this push button switch we can on or off this lamp. So we have to decide our sequence. The standard procedure is first is create program, second simulate it in your software, and if it is run successful then download to PLC, then again run and monitor online. The important in PLC is sync and source logic, that is input and output. So this topic we will discuss later on in detail, but we will get basic idea, that is sync, that NPN provides path to ground, and source we use PNP transistor and it will provide path to voltage. Means sync is a current consuming device and source is a current fetching device or current giving device. So these are the various sync logic and source logic we will discuss in detail. These are the various input output using sync and source, that also we will discuss detail in our next chapter. this is one example how we can on or off the bulb. This is our logic diagram, and accordingly we have to put program in our ladder diagram, and it will on or off and gives output. In this condition, bulb is off and we could indicate bulb is on. Various discrete inputs or symbols we can normally use this. This is for normally open push button. This is normally closed push button. Normally open switch, normally closed switch, normally open contact, and normally closed contact. So these are the symbols used for PLC logic diagram. Basic instruction as input, there is input, output, set and reset, latch, unlatch instruction are used to cyclic process or to convert system automatically. There are various timers and counters are also required. These are the various symbols that we will discuss later on. Then next process is uploading and downloading and monitoring. Upload means retrieve program from PLC. Download means send program to PLC. And monitoring means we have to monitor our system real time. So these are one case study how we can control this circuit. This will be discussed later on. Various components used in automation are on push button, off push button, relay, NIC contactor, and PLC. After getting the basic knowledge, we try to solve various case studies in this subject. That is how we can control batch processing. This is the ladder diagram for basic processing. How we can control one. Then this is for number 2. Then how we can mix two liquid in process industry. This task will also achieve with the help of automation through PLC. Speed control of water, that is also one of the most popular application in industry. That also we can achieve with the help of this kind of programming. And finally, at the last we discuss what are the problems occurring in industry, what are the common issue occurs in industry. That is power loss, faulty input output, error in LED flashing or LEDs are on or off, and tools, LED indicator, diagnostic registers, and software alerts. So there are various tools using for troubleshooting and fault diagnosis. Conclusion and future scope is that PLC are the backbone of industry 4.0 automation. Now people also talk about industry 5.0. Okay. That is feature IoT, AI-based predictive control and remote monitoring, robust, reliable and multi-adapted, and it is more reliable compared to Arduino and microcontroller. These are the various shortcut key that I will give you in programming sessions. So with this, I will conclude my session and we will discuss this topic in next session. Thank you.